Hark, my friends, the season of the freshie is upon us. Or it's about to be. I mean, soon. Like, kinda soon. Hey friends, Ash here with Gents. Hope you're doing well. It's time to talk about some freshies again, but today we're talking about some next level freshies. These are some fragrances that either feature a note and take it to the next level, or they do something a little bit interesting, a little bit out of the norm as far as freshies go. 7 killer scents that are gonna have you smelling awesome this spring. Let's check them out. Today's video is brought to you by ScentSplit.com. Got a link in the description to their website. They sell fragrance decants, samples, travel sizes. They also have some full-size bottles from different brands on the website as well. Everything there, of course, completely authentic. They've got some awesome high-end fragrances there. You can get a little tiny baby bottle, or maybe a slightly bigger bottle, or even bigger than that one. And I'll link each one of these fragrances in the description below. Check out ScentSplit anytime you want to sample a fragrance or buy a little travel size of a fragrance that you already got. All right, let's kick it off with by Kilian Roses on Ice. This poor fragrance right here came out the same time as Angel Share, and 95% of people looked at it and went, no thanks, I'm gonna talk to your hot sister. Roses on Ice like, what about me? I have a great personality. Nobody cares about that. Angel Share is the hotness right now. Angel Share is what's blowing up right now. This one has lime, cucumber, rose, sandalwood, and musk as some of the notes in the fragrance. So it's got a pretty interesting note breakdown. Not all that often that you see cucumber used in a fragrance. What it might make you think of is that cucumber water that you get at like fancy stores and salons and places where they just get water and throw a bunch of cucumber in it and they're like, have this infused water. The cucumber in here actually has a little bit of that kind of vibe to it. It's a nice and fresh fragrance. The rose especially is very clean and uplifting. And then the lime gives it a little bit of a different twist with the citrus in the open. Usually you're gonna see grapefruit, you're gonna see bergamot, but here, lime. It's a great quality fragrance. It's unisex. Guys and ladies can both pull this off just as easily, and it's a great choice for springtime. Up next, we have Wulong Cha from Nishane. Now, this one is very interesting because it has a prominent note of oolong tea, which you're not gonna find in very many spring fragrances or fragrances in general. You have the other notes along the bottom of the bottle here. So you've got bergamot, mandarin orange, litsea cubiba, nutmeg, musk, and fig. So as I said, really interesting note breakdown. Not only do you have that oolong tea, you've got a bunch of citrus and then fig. A lot going on here. First time I ever smelled this was my friend Manny, Cascade Scents. He actually brought this as his fragrance of choice to a music festival that we went to up in Montreal. So I'm pretty sure if you can rock this at a music festival during summer, you can rock this during the spring pretty easily as well. It's got a smoothness to it, a sweetness, a slight creaminess as well, and that oolong tea is there from the opening to the dry down. Stuff smells fantastic. Let's go a little more basic yet elevated with Parfums de Greenley next. Mine's a tester bottle. It's got the notes right here on the back. It's got bergamot, it has apple, mandarin orange, it has cedarwood, petitgrain, violet, pomerose, amberwood, oak moss, and musk. Just reading right off the bottle. Now, a lot of people would say Parfums de Marly does better cool weather fragrances, especially when you're talking Leighton, Carlisle, Harrod, and Wajon fragrances like that. But still yet, sadly, Greenley and Percival especially are amazing at pulling positive attention and just having that versatility where you can use them anywhere, anytime. This one's very fresh and sweet off the top, dries down to a modern woodsy feel, and it has maximum versatility. From there, we're going on to Bergamot 22 from Le Labo. Made for me, 4/13/2017. Before long, you're gonna be 5 years old, bottle. You've come so far. You've grown so fast. Bergamot, petitgrain, vanilla, vetiver, and cedar, some of the notes in the fragrance. One of my favorite bergamot notes of all time, which is why I bought this at full retail. I had a decant of it. I wore that decant out, drained that bad boy, and when I went up to Chicago and saw the Le Labo counter, I knew I had to get this. That bergamot and petitgrain in the opening, it's green, it's fresh, it's juicy, it's lively, it smells natural, absolutely unforgettable. As it dries down, it's maybe not quite as entrancing as it is in the opening, but it still smells great, and it's one of those fragrances, like pretty much everything here, that everybody's gonna love. Now to a newer love of mine, Vetiver Sensuel from Mancera. Vetiver Sensuel. Vetiver mint, woods, pepper, and citrus. A bunch of citrus in this one. This is a very clean, fresh, bright vetiver fragrance. It's not one of those vetiver scents that's smoky and dark and earthy. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I love vetiver in all its forms. However vetiver comes, I will accept it and I will love it. But this is a vetiver made just to be easy to wear. One of those daytime warm weather, grass is green, the trees are green, the flowers are blooming, that kind of vetiver. Very classy smelling, easy to wear to the office. Again, great versatility with this one. It is a great, stunning fragrance. Some people overlook Mancera. They'll say, oh, Mancera, too cheap for me as far as niche goes. I like high-end niche. Mancera is too chemically. I think this one, though, would appeal to some of those people who don't like Mancera because this one is not overloaded. It doesn't smell like a big smack to the face when you spray this on. It doesn't have that overload in the open where it just smells like 100 different things are going on at once. Absolutely love this. One of my favorite crisp, clean vetiver scents. And we're kicking it over to Acqua de Parma from their Blue Mediterraneo line. It's Fico di Amalfi. Acqua de Parma is a line that I like a lot personally just because they're easy to get into. They don't cost all that much, even at full retail. You can get them for even less at discounters, which is great. They come in these big honking bottles a lot of times, so you get a whole lot of fragrance for the price you're paying. And typically they're really easy to wear. They're very likable fragrances. They're not trying to break the mold and do something crazy different most of the time. They're just trying to give you something that's nice to wear. Fico di Amalfi is known for its fig note. So a lot of times, especially people that are just getting into fragrances, they'll say, I'm really interested in fig. What should I check out? I want a good fig fragrance. I don't want to spend too much money, but I want it to be decently high end. And people will recommend two fragrances typically. Velocicos from Diptyque and this one. There's also pink pepper, cedar, lemon, and grapefruit in here. So you've got that citrus in the opening that is basically on equal footing with the fig. Then as it dries down, the fig stays around longer and the citrus starts to dissipate, go along to the edges of the fragrance. And that's why this is really known as a fig fragrance, because even though there are these other things going on, woods, citrus, spices, the fig is the most prominent note. It's what you're going to remember. Lovely stuff, great quality on this, especially when you consider the price. And we're going to wrap things up with a Frapin fragrance. It is The Orchid Man. Frapin, not a house that gets a lot of play. People don't talk about it a huge amount. One of the things that they've had an issue with in the past is a lot of their fragrances underperform a bit. So even if the longevity is decent, the projection won't be all that great. Or maybe the longevity won't be great and also the projection won't be great. The Orchid Man could use a little more push. The staying power is decent, but I would like it to have a little more, just a little more projection. That being said, the scent itself is very nice. Really, really, really good smelling, and it smells similar to a very popular fragrance, Creed's Aventus. Yeah, Aventus again. Pretty much every niche house needs to have at least one Aventus style fragrance. Am I right? No? Well, anyway, that's what they think. They think they gotta have one. So this one has oak moss, patchouli, jasmine, bergamot, and leather as some of the notes in the fragrance. And you may look at that note breakdown and say, well, it's not super duper close to the main notes in Aventus. But then when you smell it, you see the common similarities there. The bergamot here smells like that bergamot pineapple combination to an extent that you find in Aventus. The leather that you're gonna find here, you could draw a bit of a parallel to the birch that's in Aventus. And it does have a bit of that vanillic-like sweetness as it dries down as well. So you do have similarities here. And as soon as you spray this on, it's gonna be obvious. It is, though, a really well done twist on Aventus. The quality here is high, and the cost is not astronomical when you compare it to what it costs to pick up Aventus nowadays. Something funny, go back and listen to or look up reviews of Creed Aventus 6, 7, 8 years ago. You'll hear people complaining about the price then, and what you could get Aventus for back then is way low compared to what you pay nowadays. People are going to be complaining about Aventus nowadays, like, man, these prices are insane, which they are. And then in 10 years, they're going to be like, oh man, remember when you could get Aventus for like $400? What a deal. It's $2,000 a bottle now. So we're wrapping it up with the Orchid Man. Nice little twist, nice little take on that Creed Aventus DNA. 7 fantastic fragrances. These are top-notch freshies. Gonna have you smelling killer in the spring. Again, shout out to scentsplit.com. Link in the description. Check them for any samples, decants, any of those needs. Check them out. As always, guys, thank you so much for hanging with me. Thank you for your support. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.